Unstable precipitation events and lengthy dry change of seasons in lot components of India indicate how farmers frequently include to fight in boggy fields or droughts that can spoil their cereal. Lot are eventually constrained to abandon the earth and emigrate to discover some job. One day our entire household utilized to job there, and we utilized to do their livelihood of farming, says Madhiban. The household's fields are now coated in a slim white leaf of season with salt. They all utilized to be luxuriant verdant, now he's all whites abandoned, says Madhiban, who lives in a countryside in Gujarat in polar West India. Lot components of India show harsh effects of desertification, but now one public company, Narita Services, is take activity. Company founders Trupti Jaina and Biplab Katungender include go up in and reply to the For the Gujarat quake of 2001, I recall how temperature rose up, radically outgoing human beings out of water supply, accompanied by monsoons that submerged all and leftward agriculture boggy for months. How's while I begun looking for a decision, says Biplab. After I implemented how these unstable rainfall could be a decision for such a dry change of seasons. Biplab and Trupti later begun experimenting in various structures to keep excessive rainfall water supply so how it could be utilized in dry change of seasons. How's while we innovated bhungroo, a water supply harvest method how uses an injectable unit to keep excessive rainfall water supply subterranean. Farmers can later use the identical water supply for irrigation system for summer and winter, says Trupti. The top standard of saltiness in lot regions of Gujarat and some state of India frequently creates an impenetrable whites or tan stratum how prevents water supply of piercing the ground, outgoing the shallow boggy. The permanent water supply adds to the saltiness as lot mineral deposits this in the ground as well get diluted in the water supply, that in the dry time of year creates a salt stratum, says Biplab. Every year, 12 millionth hectares, 29 millionth acres, of earth are lost to encroaching deserts. How's earth wherever 20 millionth tons of corn could include been grown up? Human beings residing off the earth frequently since they include no selection but to emigrate. Following the monsoons our fields stay boggy for up to 3 months. Since of how salts build up and in summers down there is no water supply, says Madhiban. Currently all males of our household include had to go to the cities to get job. Onto the Joint Nations Convention to Fight Desertification, UNCCD, by 2030, 135 millionth human beings could miss their homes and livelihoods to desertification. In India, 5 millionth little mount farmers are struck in saltiness, flooding and dry spell problems, and through the ball 650 trillion hectares of earth gets struck in these issues, says Trupti Jaina. Bhungroo is a Gujarati speech importance stubble, a tube among 10-15 small, 4-6 dia is plugged in the ground at places wherever water supply harvesting is a issue. So for monsoons the excessive water supply drains downward, the tube gets filter and later fluid downward to nature aquifers profound under the ground wherever it can remain before it's necessary for the dry change of seasons. It will how in the rainy season time of year farmers can increase cereal since their earth is not too damp. In the dry change of seasons of winter or summer they can use fuel to paint up the saved water supply and water their earth, says Trupti. Proper to hard rainfall for monsoons, accompanied by a dry incantation in summers we utilized not to include any cereal, and later we had to go to some areas of Gujarat for job, says Farm Kaiser Bian. But now she and her household include a bhungroo, we can readily increase 2 cereal in a year. One bhungroo block can water up to 8 to 10 hectares, and building expenses can differ of $750 to $1,500, 1,100 pounds, depending on the position and amount of the draft. Ours company is work on combination model how indicate we are mobilization harant cash as so as generative a income to sale our bhungroo to the customers, says Trupti. Speaking on the harant cash, we are mobilization to supporting the impoverished farmers who cannot provide the price of the bhungroo. So distant, Narita has built more than rather than 3,500 bhungroos through India and says its aim is Antyodaya, a speech utilized by Mahatma Gandhi. How tool serving the recent man in the queuing in the top probable path. In village India, the recent man is the least lessee who does not include any water supply facility for his or her harvest, says Trupti Jaina.